What up, my friends? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have a Kroger haul to share with you. I spent just shy of $100. I am located in Jacksonville, Florida, so if you're curious what $100 gets you right now, I will be answering that question for you. I always share grocery prices on the screen when I do the hauls. That way you can use it kind of as a guide, but obviously different markets have different prices. We are also kind of doing an Italian theme. I didn't really plan for that, but in this video, I have a lot of produce that I picked up, and I show you how I take a lot of that produce and turn it into a veggie-packed crock-pot marinara that's super easy to throw together and produces so much that you can keep some in the fridge for now and save some in the freezer for later. We are also going to be making a creamy tortellini pasta salad together, and at the end of this video, my husband is going to jump in and do a taste test with me, and we'll share our honest thoughts and our rating and whether or not we think that you should add it to your menu. If you happen to be new here, hi, how are you? How's the family? My name is Kate. Over on this channel, I do a lot of haul videos, so I like to show you what's new at Costco, Trader Joe's, Sam's Club. I also do a lot of recipe inspiration, so if you need some help with what to get on the dinner table, I have you covered. If you end up enjoying the vibe while you're here, I would love it if you'd subscribe. Without further ado, let's dive right into the video. Friends, we have a $100 Kroger order, and I don't know, 60% of it is produce. So I'm a little offended. I feel like the $100 is a little aggressive. Let's get into it. You know, I'm going to give you prices on the screen here. So we've got some raspberries. These are for my twins. My oldest doesn't seem to really love raspberries, but if I mix them into yogurt, he likes them a lot. So we got some of those. I also have been obsessed with blueberries lately. So between me and the kids, I got like a big one. Probably going to get a couple the next time I go to Costco. So then that way I can freeze some for myself or just buy some frozen blueberries. Also, I grabbed 2 packs of strawberries this time because we have been going through strawberries like crazy. Also, I'm pretty sure they're in season right now, so they've been super tasty. I also grabbed 2 mangoes. These guys right here are going to be for some, I don't even know if I was showing that to you correctly. These are going to be for some overnight oats I'm going to be making myself. I also grabbed some spaghetti squash over here. This is just something that I love to have on hand because we like to just do fast and easy dinners. And I'm going to tell you right now, spaghetti squash, it's so amazing. You just cut it in half, put some oil, seasoning, salt, and pepper on there. You can cook it in the oven. You can cook it in the air fryer. You can even cook it in the microwave. Then you just take a fork and scrape it out. With a little ground turkey and some marinara sauce, it makes like such a fast and easy, delicious dinner. Back here, we've got some butternut squash. This is for the kids mostly. It's back up to regular price. It was only like $1.49 for a while, but they brought it back up to the $4.49, and it's kind of on the smaller side. So I'm a little sad about that, but that's okay. I grabbed some baby spinach. That's going to be for breakfast, and then I just like to mix it into smoothies. We also make marinara sauce, which I grabbed these San Marzano whole peeled tomatoes because we're going to make like a crock-pot marinara sauce, and I like to just throw a bunch of produce in there, use an immersion blender, and just mix it up. The best part about it is honestly, it's one of those, if you have a produce drawer that you just want to get through because it's starting to get a little sus, as the kids would say, you can just dump it all in the crock pot with some tomatoes and make yourself a delicious marinara. I also grabbed some emotional support bananas. The kids were starting to seem like they didn't like bananas for a little while, but they've actually come back around to bananas, so bringing those back in at a more aggressive rate. We've got some grape tomatoes here. I have again been craving making caprese salad, and I'm thinking I'm gonna make a pasta salad. I also grabbed some baby carrots. That's just for sides, maybe even snacking. We'll see. I'm still a little nervous with carrots that are raw because of the fact that there was a recall. I've been trying to wash them and steam them. Even though it says that they're washed, I rewash them. I also grabbed a bell pepper just for cooking purposes. I grabbed a can of black beans because we didn't have any more in the pantry, and I've just been liking black beans and things. That's it. That's all I have to say. I grabbed a couple things of broccoli. That's going to be for us for dinners, but also for the kids for sides. I grabbed a yellow squash and a zucchini squash. I'm probably going to take half of each of these to put in that veggie-packed marinara sauce, but the other half I'll probably use either in I'm thinking like a soup. I've been in the mood for a soup lately. Maybe I could come up with some type of soup. I grabbed a huge bag of rice because we were running low. Couple things of lemon. I've been making these lemon ginger cubes for myself. They've just been so good, so I needed some lemon for that. I also grabbed 3 sweet potatoes. It'll be between us and the kids. We'll be eating those up. I saw this breakfast sausage. I have a video coming up where I'm going to be doing 5 ingredient breakfast. And I saw this version of breakfast sausage, and I just think it'll be perfect for that. So look forward to that video. That should be coming up at, I think that'll be the next video you guys see. Also grab some Monterey Jack cheese, some mozzarella cheese. These were on sale, and we love to just shred our own cheese at this point. I grabbed some mozzarella pearls. That's going to be for that caprese-inspired pasta salad that I'm planning to probably share in this video. I also grabbed some salsa. I really love this one here. It just tastes very fresh. It tastes like something you'd get at a restaurant or something. I really need to get in the habit of just making like a huge batch of my own salsa and then freezing some of it. I grabbed some hot honey. This was so overpriced. It was ridiculous, but I grabbed it anyway because the last time I went to Trader Joe's, they did not have spicy honey there. So I had no choice but to just pay the piper. Over here, I grabbed some of these non-dippers. I just love snacking on these, and I have a huge thing of hummus right now. So I'm super excited to have those for snacking purposes. And then I'm also going to use it in one of my breakfast recipes. So I'm excited for that. I also grabbed some sourdough bread. This is again going to be for some breakfast recipes, but I'm kind of excited just to have that on hand in general. And then over here, last but not least, I hate buying these at the grocery store because they are so overpriced compared to Costco, Sam's Club, BJ's. But we are desperate, and I don't think we're going to get to a wholesale club for maybe another 5 or 6 days. So this was kind of just our way of holding ourselves over. Anyways, so I grabbed this because we pretty much have some form of a wrap, I'd say every other day. So we definitely need to have those on hand. So anyways, that's everything I grabbed at Kroger. Let's dive into the recipe. I figured I would just show you guys the Crock-pot marinara. So we have the Crock-pot here, and this is seriously how simple it is. The hardest part of this is just dicing up whatever vegetables you want to use. So I'm going to use the equivalent of like 2 or 3 cloves of garlic. And then we're going to use about half of a diced onion. I had a very large, what was it? I think it was a yellow onion, but you could use whatever onion you have. I feel like yellow onions do not make me want to cry as much, so that's why I go with them. So over here, I have some baby carrots that I just chopped into thirds to make them a little smaller. I also have some yellow squash and some zucchini. Other things that you could add in here is you could do butternut squash is great. Any type of squash, honestly. But butternut squash is a good one if you want it to be sweet without having to add a lot of sugar. Carrot is good for that as well. So that's why I put carrot in it. And then I have the zucchini and the yellow squash and then the garlic and onion. This is just a good opportunity to use up whatever you have in your produce drawer. I'm gonna make a little more room over here because we're gonna add some spinach. Almost forgot too that I have half a bell pepper that I wanted to add in there. So I'm gonna put the bell pepper over yonder. And just some behind the scenes for you guys, just how ridiculous my life is the only reason I'm even arranging the vegetables like this is so I can get a picture for Instagram. That's where we're at in life, okay? So I have a huge amount of spinach going in because this is gonna wilt down significantly. So I probably have about 2 cups of spinach happening here. You could do like microgreens if you wanted. You could do like arugula, anything that you have on hand. Even if you had like a coleslaw kit that you wanted to get rid of with some cabbage, that's the beauty of this marinara sauce. All right, next layer is gonna be a bunch of different types of tomatoes. So I have these San Marzano style whole peeled tomatoes. So we're gonna put that right on there. I'm doing 2 28-ounce cans of those tomatoes. And then I have 2 cans, I think these are 15 ounces of, 14.5 diced tomatoes. And for this, you could obviously use fresh tomatoes, or if you wanted to use fire roasted tomatoes, you could, but I don't have any of those on hand. So we're just going regular diced tomatoes. Okay, and then I'm gonna do like 2 ounces of tomato paste in there. This is from a 6-ounce can. And normally I just do the entire can, but I am down to only this can. So I know I'll probably need this in other recipes, so I'm gonna save this for myself. Okay, next up, we're just gonna go in with a bunch of seasoning. So for me, I just do like Mediterranean, Italian, that type of vibe. So something with like oregano in it. This one has, I think, oregano. It has some garlic, onion, orange peel, which I love, dehydrated tomatoes, crushed red pepper, yeast extract, just like a little fun blend. I think I got that at Costco. I also have this, which is probably kind of just a duplicate of that. Oh no, this has some red bell pepper in it, so I'm gonna sprinkle some of this on there. This is kind of like a zesty Italian blend. And then we are also going to do some red pepper flakes. It's already in some of those ones, but John does like it a little bit on the zesty side, so I just sprinkle a little because we do give this to the kids, but they're pretty good with mild spice. So, and then salt and pepper. I am also gonna do a little bit of sugar, probably the equivalent of maybe 2 tablespoons. And I will taste for sweetness later once it's marinated a while, but I just want to get it a head start on that. If you don't want any sugar in it, you can just skip that step, but that is something we like to do. Now, if you wanted to, you could at this point add some chicken stock, beef stock, or just water to kind of thin this out. But I have found that when you cook in the crock pot, it tends to generate a lot of water on its own. So what I do is just kind of let that, you know, create itself. And we honestly kind of like it more on like the concentrated taste, but just, you know, do it to your preference. What you could do if you want is just let it cook like this for now. And then if you want to, you could always come back and add water. You know, you can't take it out, but you can add it. So you can always kind of see later down the line if you want to add some water or chicken stock to this bowl of happiness. Now, I just realized I forgot basil, so let me grab that. I just realized that I had basil mixed in with that pile of spinach. So basil just went in there. I was not intending to use that much basil, but whatever, it'll just be basil heavy and I'm not mad about that. So anyways, basil went in there as well. I think it was like a 3-ounce package or something like that, which is great because that was actually supposed to be used for something else, but you know, you live, you learn. Okay, so we're gonna get this covered and we are going to just let it cook on low for like 6 hours and then we'll stir it. And what we will do is come back and do the immersion blender to blend it all together, and then those veggies completely go away. So that is it, my friends. That is how you make a very veggie-packed marinara sauce. This freezes beautifully. So one thing I like to do is order some deli soup containers online, and I usually take some of it, put it in the fridge, some of it in the freezer for later, and it's just great to have on hand. Okay, friends, I want to apologize first if you hear my robot vacuum in the background because he is currently going. His name is Bruce because he's a shark. And if you get that reference, we can be friends because that means you're Disney people. I'll be friends with anybody, actually, even if you're not Disney people. I still love you. So we are doing a pasta salad, and it's going to be made with tortellini. I take any excuse possible to use up cottage cheese. So that's what we're doing here. But if you don't like cottage cheese, you could probably just go with mayonnaise instead. So I'm using about a half a cup. I rarely measure things in situations like this. We're lucky if I measure things when I'm baking, which is like an actual science. Good, I spilled that there. Felt that for me. Anyways, you could just go full on mayonnaise with this if you wanted to, but I'm gonna do a half a cup of cottage cheese. I'll do one more scoop in there. And then I'm gonna do about 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And I'm putting this inside like a food processor / blender to make it super creamy. But I don't mind the texture of cottage cheese, so if you're like me and you don't mind the texture, this step is kind of unnecessary. But I just wanted it to be super creamy and smooth this time. So that's why I'm gonna be blending it up in my little immersion blender. We're gonna go in with a couple tablespoons, so a couple splashes of red wine vinegar. We are going to stream in about 1/4 cup of olive oil. Looks good to me. We are gonna go in with about a tablespoon of lemon juice. We are gonna do about 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. Looking good. All right, and then now we're gonna do some seasoning. So I've got about a teaspoon of garlic powder going in. I've got about a teaspoon of Italian seasoning going in. I'm using kind of like a zesty Italian blend that I get at Trader Joe's. This guy right here. But you could use whatever your favorite Italian seasoning is. I'm also gonna go in with a little bit of red pepper flakes. We like it to be a little zesty, but I don't wanna go too crazy, so just a little bit there. And then I'm going in with some hot honey that I got at Kroger. You could also just do sugar if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna do like a squeeze, like maybe the equivalent of a teaspoon, just to balance out some of the acidity. And then we're gonna do salt and pepper. Just gonna pop the top on there, blend that up. Okay, now we're gonna do a little taste test on this guy. See if it needs salt, pepper, anything like that. All right, we got a little tasting spoon here. See how this is. Wow, you guys. This is absolutely delicious. What I'm gonna do is it needs to be a little thin. It's super thick. I don't know if you can see. It's like really thick. So when I toss it in the pasta, I'm gonna add a little bit more olive oil, but the flavor on this, you guys, this is gonna be good. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump in to chopping up the last little bit, which is just pepperoni, red onion, salami. You could slice up some black olives or whatever your favorite olive is. You could also do some like diced bell pepper in there if you want a little extra zing. If you wanted to make it a little bit leaner, you could also go with like grilled chicken or even like grilled shrimp, I think would be delicious in this. But we're gonna go ahead and do salami, pepperoni, and some red onion now. You guys, I just realized I forgot, we're also doing some grape tomatoes. So I'm just gonna cut these in half and pop them in there. I'm gonna do, I don't know, like a cup of them, like half of the container that you get of grape tomatoes, whatever that is. You may be asking yourself, how dull is Kate's knife? And the answer is, it is incredibly dull. I need to invest, I think for like Mother's Day, I should tell John that that's what I want, is like a really nice chef's knife, you know? If you guys have a favorite, can you let me know? I know there's a bunch of brands out there that are super popular, but it's like at this point in life, I feel like you can never figure out if people truly like something or not. So I trust you guys. So if you have a favorite knife that you use, please let me know what it is. All right, so we got that down in there. I'm gonna go in with the onion next, and this is a hunky girl. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this onion in half, and then I'm gonna slice it very thinly. So it's not like super long slices, because John likes more like a diced onion. I like a sliced onion, so I feel like this is kind of a good compromise in between the two. I'm gonna save the other parts of the onion for myself to dice up, and we'll use that in some type of breakfast or something. And now we're gonna move on to chopping up some pepperoni and salami. I'm gonna go with like half of this package of pepperoni, and that package is a 6-ounce package, so it's about 3 ounces. For the salami, I'm gonna go with this amount. This is a 12-ounce package of salami. I think I took about a third of that, so I'd say it's probably about 4 ounces of salami that's gonna be going in. You guys ever seen someone not knowing what they're doing any more than me? Send them my way so we can be friends. I'm just like obviously roughly chopping this, but you could go at it at a much more precise manner. Not where I'm at in life. We're gonna do some slices and some chunks, okay? That's what's gonna happen. Nobody will be upset with pepperoni that's like chunked together, that's for sure. Not in this house. I'm just gonna kind of break this up a little bit, so when I mix it in, it distributes a little more evenly. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit more olive oil to that bad boy, and then the dressing is gonna go in. Okay, and now we're just gonna mix it all together. And you wanna be kind of gentle, because you don't wanna break up the tortellini. Okay, I feel like we did an awesome job. This looks incredibly creamy. You guys, you gotta yell at me sometimes because I forget things. I almost forgot that I'm adding these mozzarella pearls to this bad boy. How could you guys let me forget? We're gonna pop the entire package in here because I don't play around when it comes to cheese, okay? There's so much cheese in this, it's not even funny. So we're just doing mozzarella pearls in there. Break those up a little bit, and then toss one more time to get those worked through. But those should be pretty easy to get in there. So now we are done. I'm like pumped about this, you guys. Oh, I forgot. Can you grab out the marinara? I wanted to show you guys because I forgot to get a clip when we were finished with the crock-pot marinara, what it looks like once you blend it all up and everything. I've shown it before on the channel, so you probably already know if you've been here, if we're friends, if you're part of the fam. Is that what the kids would say? Anyways, I just wanted to show off. Like, look. Can you tell that there's 7,000 vegetables in there and micronutrients? So anyways, I just wanted to show that off. The other thing we're showing off is this. I am really excited about this. This is like an Italian style pasta salad. I'm gonna let John try it first because I already kind of got to try, you guys saw, I already got to try the, what is that thing called?
Sauce.
The sauce. So I feel like that's like the most important. I don't think I'll ever make pasta salad a different way.
That's the best pasta salad I've ever had in my life, and I don't really like pasta salad.
He really doesn't. He's like a warm, hot meal.
What just happened?
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. It reminds me of like a Caesar dressing meets an Italian dressing. Like if they had a baby, this is what it would taste like. It's got the creaminess of the Caesar, but the flavoring of like an Italian dressing. And that is like two of my favorite things. I love all the elements of it. And I think that the tortellini is a great way to do this for sure.
It's the only way to do it.
It's probably the only way to do it, but if you wanted to, you could, the sauce is the component. So if you want to just take this sauce and because you don't have tortellini on hand, you have everything else in your house to recreate this and you only have regular pasta, this sauce is going to be used in any pasta salad I make going forward. And even if you don't like cottage cheese, John, that's cottage cheese, sir. He doesn't like cottage cheese. That is cottage cheese, sir. So even if you don't like cottage cheese, don't be scared by that part. I'm going 9.5, John.
That is a solid 10.
Nah, you're going 10, bro?
That is
there's nothing you would change.
Fantastic.
I mean, I agree. I'm not gonna lie. You would impress people.
Fantastic.
You would impress people with this pasta salad. If you're looking for a recipe to have in the arsenal to impress people and you get invited over for like a little barbecue situation and you need to bring a side dish, put this on the menu.
Well, here's my thing. You know how most pasta salad is side dishes for people? I feel like going with the tortellini, now it's a main course.
You're right. I agree. And it's got the protein in there. And there's just a million ways that you could customize this to what you and your family like. So anyways, solid on that. We're going to get that feedback over to corporate. We appreciate you being here with us. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe before you leave because shenanigans like this go down all the time, okay? I hope we delivered whatever you needed when you clicked on that thumbnail, and I hope you have a magical day. Bye.